Hello, so I'm going to be showing you guys two very good farming spots. They are the two best farming spots in the game. I would say the two best legitimate farming spots in the game. This one right here behind me is only viable, I would say, after beating the final boss. So I'm currently actually on NG Plus, which is my second playthrough of my main account. And I do get bonus rune acquisition here. It doesn't matter if you're on NG Plus or your very first playthrough, it's still the best farming spot. Now, once you beat the final boss, you'll actually get this sword that I'm holding, which is the Sacred Relic Sword. So just go ahead, equip that, and you use your skill right about here, and you wipe out all of those dudes. You can see I got 66,000 runes. I like to run here, you don't have to. I like to run to this spot, use it one more time to just clear out anybody else. I missed that guy, but no big deal. You see I still got 89,000 runes. And then I simply fast travel back to here. And then I rinse and repeat. Do it again. I run forward a little bit. You can stand a little more this way to just guarantee that you get that guy on the right. But you can see it is a wonderful spot to farm. The next spot, which is accessible early game, is also right here. And essentially you'll just come to right about here. You'll want to make sure you have a bow and arrow equipped as well, specifically a longbow. Those are very easy to get early game. And you just shoot this bird. It's a big dumb bird. I missed. Just shoot the bird, and he will run right at you and fall off the cliff. As soon as you see his wings pop up like they just did, you can run back here, rest at the site of grace, come back, shoot right through that little gap, and boom, he does it again. So you can see this is super good. Um, Not quite as good as the other dudes over there, but regardless, a wonderful spot. I'll explain exactly how to get to this spot throughout the video. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention, this spot is underground. So in order to view it, you actually just need to toggle the underground on your map, and you can see it right over there. Now, in order to access these farming spots, both the bird farm and the other farming location that I showed you, you need to complete the White Vare quest. Now, the White Vare quest, it's pretty easy for the most part. There are two bosses that you have to go through in order to complete it. Actually, there are three bosses you have to go through in order to complete it. However, if you are, somewhat decently leveled up, level 50 or so, it'll be very easy to go through those bosses. Now, in order to get to those farming spots, you will have to complete the White Var quest. I've already completed it, so you do not see the NPC here. But essentially they will be standing right here, and you just talk to Vare until you exhaust his dialogue entirely. From there, you will want to go to Liurnia. I'm sorry, not Liurnia. You'll need to go to Stormveil Castle. And you have to complete Stormveil Castle. That means beating the first boss, as well as beating the second boss. Once you have beaten those bosses, you're going to pop out right around here. There's a cave somewhere here. But you'll want to make sure you get to this site of grace, which is the lake facing cliffs. From here, you'll need to make your way down to this swamp, which isn't too hard to get to. There are actually some ledges right over here. You can kind of see them right there. You can just hop down those ledges, and then you can ride down this path right here, and you can come out down this way. You'll make your way over to this church right here. You might want to grab this site of grace along the way, just to make it easier, because you will have to do some back and forth. But you'll go to this church right here, which is the Rose Church, and you'll see Vare standing right outside of it. Now, there are a couple things that I actually did forget to mention. Once you beat the boss of Stormveil Castle, your first step should not be to come directly to this church. Your first step should actually be going back to the first step. And then you talk to Vare a couple more times, and then after that, you want to fast travel to the Table of Lost Grace. Once you get to the round table, you should have access to this door now. It'll be closed still, just open it up. Talk to the Finger Maiden a couple times, and then go back to the first step. And once you're back here, if I'm not mistaken, Vare will be gone. She's now at the church, or he is now at the church. So then you can go to the Fall in the Lake ruins. Go ahead and run to that lake. Or go ahead and run to that church. Once you get to this church, you might get invaded, if I'm not mistaken. And if you don't see her here, or if you don't see Vare standing right here, then just go into the church. I think something pops out of the water here. Just go ahead, kill it. Fast travel back to that Fall in the Ruins lake, and then come back to the spot. Vare should be standing here. Once you see Vare standing here, go ahead, talk to him, and then you'll receive a couple items, and I'll explain what we're going to be doing with those items. After you've exhausted the dialogue, you'll receive a white cloth from Vare. Now, what you do with this white cloth, actually, I can't remember the order of the quest. You'll either receive a white cloth, or you'll receive you'll receive 3 items, which are I actually don't have any of them, surprisingly. Oh, it's these. You'll get 3 bloody fingers. And what you do with these bloody fingers is you just use them. You'll invade another player's world. You need to do that 3 times. And you don't have to kill the person, but you can just kill yourself by jumping off a cliff or something. But the idea is to invade a world 3 times using that bloody finger. And all you do to do that, right here, and it will attempt to invade another world. Eventually it will say invading another world, and again, just kill yourself. Now, once you have invaded 3 people's worlds, again, I don't know the order of the quest. I can't remember if it's invade worlds first, or if it's the white cloth first. But let's say it's the white cloth. You pick up the white cloth from Vare, and then from there, you will ride your horse about that direction, and just keep going till you get to right around here, and you'll go up this cliff to foot of the 4 belfries, site of grace. I'll fast travel there. And then once you're at foot of the 4 belfries, just ride through the woods along this path. You'll see a couple giants in here. Don't worry about them. Just keep riding right past them. They're really no big deal. They're not gonna hit you. I mean, they'll attack at you, but they'll miss. There's one of the giants. Just ride this way a little bit. And right past these guys. You go all the way to the top up here. And you will open this chest. And what you'll get is an imbued sword key. Now, you can use this imbued sword key down here on this imp statue. Once you use it, you'll open up this teleporter, and you can travel to another location. And this is back where you started the game, the Chapel of Anticipation. Here, you're going to have to fight a boss. You'll have to fight that grafted scion that you saw at the very beginning of the game. It can be pretty challenging to beat this thing, especially if you're a low level. However, I have found, I've done this both on an early game playthrough and a late game playthrough. So once you beat this boss, good luck with it, by the way. You'll go through that door. One easy way to beat the boss, I've found, is just using a bow and arrow and just keeping your distance. Every time it attacks you, just kind of run away and just poke it down with arrows. It's a pretty simple way to do it. But, oh, you can't use your horse here. So, next what you're going to do, just run across this bridge, and you're actually going to go up the stairs here to the left. You'll see a maiden in the room. And once you approach the maiden, you'll get a prompt where you can touch your white cloth to the blood. She's right here. I've already done it, so you won't see the prompt, but once you walk, you can touch the white cloth to the prompt. Or touch the white cloth to the blood. And then all you do is you go back to Vare. You can go to the Fallen Ruins of the Lake, Site of Grace. Hopefully you picked it up. If you didn't, that's fine. You can go to a different one. Just get back to this church. Once you're back in front of this church, talk to Vari again. Exhaust her dialogue entirely. And when I say exhaust her dialogue, what I mean is you keep talking to them until they repeat the same sentence. And this is the case for like most NPCs in the game. Just exhaust their dialogue entirely when you're talking to them. That way, if there's any secret item that they're going to give you, they will give it to you. Okay, and after you have exhausted the dialogue entirely, and you have invaded 3 players in multiplayer, All you do is you'll receive an item from Vare, and it's going to be Pure Blood Knight's Metal, which grants you an audience with Moog. Okay? This is very important to receive. So once you get this, just go ahead and use it. Go to audience grounds. Yes. And this is a very late game area, so the enemies are extremely strong and they will kill you if you're not strong enough. So this is where it's going to bring you, which is right around here. So what we're going to have to do is ride our horse through here, through this river, and up this path to Palace Approach Ledge Road. I will show you that route. Don't even look back. Just keep going. Right through here. These guys, they will get a little angry when you run past them. Just keep going. Just keep on going. Go right up through here. Hop off your horse and touch grace. And now you'll always have access to this side of grace. There's the bird. There are the little alien dudes. And that's about it. That's how you get to a great early and late game farming spot. Now, one thing I will mention, I did this on my first playthrough. I killed Vare. If you kill Vare, you cannot get to this spot until late game. And by late game, I mean you gotta basically you gotta get to the snow region up here, which requires you to go through the capital. And in order to get to the snow region, you gotta go through a couple decently tough bosses. And then even further, you gotta get to this part of the snow region. And the only way to get here is by beating Castle Soul. So hopefully you didn't kill Vare and you still have access to that quest line. I may have messed up the order in which the quest needs to be completed, but regardless, you have all the information there, so you should be able to complete it.